Alright, Shalawam, Shalawam. All praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Bahasham, Racha, Kodash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of the great millstone, and salutations to all you sincere at camp that are pushing this gospel in all righteousness and in all sincerity, risking your lives and your freedom to do so. And then joy is on the earth once again because it's the Hebrew Israelites coming in and week out, giving all praises, honor, and glory once again to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Bahasham, Racha, Kodash, because I just got excited a little bit just being able to be out here today, man. The brothers also all over the earth, coming out mainly on Saturdays, okay? Because there are other brothers that do their camps on other days of the weekend, and sometimes on the weekdays as well. But on Saturday, the brothers are really coming out in full force throughout the four corners of the earth. And the thing is, you can't say that there isn't a camp video, coming out, in every single time zone all over the earth, because there is right now. Okay, that's the beauty of Yahweh Bashim, Yahweh Bashim Yahushai right there. So I'll start with that precept, that their sound. That's in the book of Romans. I think that's either 8 or 10. You have to get, they are not really that strong in memorizing the precepts. But I know where the precepts, I know how the precepts go, so I can get that easily. Okay, through the Spirit. So I'll start from there. Okay. So this is the book of Romans 10. This is the book of Romans 10. Verse 18, and it reads, "But I say, have they not heard? Yes, verily, their sound went into all the earth, and their words unto the end of the earth, unto the ends of the world." Okay, and that's basically going into, the gospel of the Most High. How about Hashem Yahushua? In the book of Matthew 24, verse 24. Okay, it tells you that this gospel of the kingdom. Okay, because that is exactly what we have. Okay, we that are of the Hebrew Israelites. Okay, the men that are out on the highways and byways are of the Hebrew Israelites, that we believe that the so-called Negroes, the so-called Latinos, the so-called Native Americans, okay, and our scattered brethren, the scattered elect that are scattered throughout the four corners of the earth, that we are the Hebrew Israelites which the Bible speaks of, and we have this doctrine. So the gospel of the kingdom, okay, is the gospel that is being taught by the Hebrew Israelites, most especially because they also have to put that qualification. Okay, we have to basically narrow it down in this truth, because one thing you'll find out when you come into all these Hebrew Israelite camps is that you have a lot of guys out there with a lot of different doctrines, okay, different, beliefs and so on and so forth. So, you have to give the people what they really need, okay? Give the people where the 100% truth is at. So the men of the great millstone, the elders and the apostles of the great millstone, they are the ones that have this 100% truth, and they are the ones, okay, whose word, whose sound, whose gospel has gone throughout the four corners of the earth, okay? The one where's doctrine has gone throughout the four corners of the earth. Because, every single year that goes by, man, the history keeps on getting, history keeps on being revealed more and more. History keeps on getting exposed more and more. And people, the understanding of what is truly going on increases more and more. Every year that goes by, Esau Edom is being seen more and more as a devil, okay? And the truth of this gospel is being revealed and being proven to be true more and more. And even the pigeons don't hear this word. I don't actually see pigeons walking on the ground like that, okay? Anyway, continuing on. So this gospel has gone out throughout the four corners of the earth, okay? Every single time zone, every single location, okay? You have this camp going on right now. You have people hearing about the truth, okay? Hearing the word of the Most High, Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushai. So now let's get this. Before I continue, let me just say that this is May 21st, okay, 2022, the year of the turning up of Yahweh Bahasham, Yahushai. And just as I was going into, the prophecies are being turned up, and everything through the Spirit is being turned up, okay? This gospel now is being preached throughout the four corners of the earth. This gospel is being heard and being spoken of throughout the four corners of the earth, okay? Call Yahweh Bahasham, Yahushai. But that's not actually what I wanted to go into today. I'm going to bring that out very quickly, because concerning what, us coming out here to the highways and byways, okay? And what a joyful feeling it is to be out here preaching the gospel of Yahweh Bahasham Yahushai. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go to Genesis first. Genesis the first chapter. I don't think I really want to go to Genesis the first chapter, but we're going to go into Genesis 2, okay? and get this. Or rather Genesis 3, because basically what I want to talk about is what you see happening on the earth again with prophecy. And you realize that, you know, with this CHIP charagma, okay, with this MOTB situation that you're seeing happening on the earth with your neural links, okay, your RFID micro, you know, your even the you know, the power payment, the pay with your phone and the cardless and cash and all that, okay. And I saw the brother Yashalan's video going into how UK will stop paying with, you know, will soon stop, or some UK supermarkets will soon stop, you know, cash and card payments to go for contactless payments, okay. And basically gradually easing you into the next stage in the new world order, which is going into the MOTV. And actually I have one of my camp signs here going to the exact same thing. You know, but I'm not going to show you a picture of it before it like gets flagged for medical misinformation or something like that. You know how Esau works, okay? And basically what this is just the same thing that happened in the Garden of Eden, okay? Is the serpent subtlety, okay? Telling you that, oh, don't, you know, basically the same thing with Adam and Eve and the apple, okay? Because you know, a lot of these policies that Esau is pushing for, a lot of his draconian decrees are targeted at you Israelites, okay? So-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians. The, you know, you Israelites are the ones that are being targeted by these decrees, because Esau is looking for your destruction, is looking for your fault. That was the same thing the serpent was looking for when he lied to Adam and Eve, telling them that, oh well, you don't need to listen to the Most High, you know. And that apple that was actually going into the strange doctrine, okay? That, oh well, they ate the apple and they just died like that. It's the same thing that you have seen happening right now, okay? Esau Edom is giving you this apple in the form of that CHIP, okay? Telling you that, oh, if you take this, you'll be able to buy and sell, you'll be able to purchase, you know, contactless purchase, your purchase will be easier. And with neural link, oh, it will make you healthier, make your brain healthier, will integrate you with machine, because that's the next step in our evolution, you know? Saw the video of this Edomite scientist saying that we no longer need to wait for the Lord, wait for Yahweh in order to receive immortality. But we can just do the transhumanism, integrate man with machine, and then we can prolong, you know, and then they can prolong their life. They can do this, they can do that, speaking all these great things, okay, showing the people all these great miracles. Oh, isn't science so great? You know, that kind of thing. And that's what people will be thinking in their minds now. Oh, isn't science? Oh, isn't science so great? You know, look at what they are doing. Oh, science so this and that. But what they won't tell you are the side effects of having, you know, those implants, okay, of transhumanism and putting machines in you, okay? Because Esau will talk about all the possibilities, all the things that he can do if he gets the technology right. But the thing is that he doesn't have the technology right, and that's why this CHIP hasn't yet, you know, come out, because basically Esau wants this thing out, man, as much as we as well do, okay? Esau wants this technology out here, but it's just not ready, okay? Because no matter how hard you try to interface, you know, man with machines, okay, to integrate, you know, biological flesh with technology, that was not how it was meant to be, okay? The way to, you don't hack your biology using technology, okay? You know, flesh wasn't meant to integrate with technology, okay? But this is what these devils are trying to do. This is what these devils are trying to do, because they're not spiritual in any way, okay? So they can't, you know, gain immortality and gain the blessings of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai by obeying or following the words of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, okay? Because you know what the scriptures say, that the wicked are estranged from the womb, okay? So what they're trying to do is they're trying to create technologies, trying to, you know, make the perfect technology for them in order to advance, you know, their kingdom, okay? So they can be everlasting rulers, you know, living forever in their kingdom, okay? Because they know what happens to them, you know. This is going into something else, but let's just quickly go through this so we can get the Christians. But these devils, they know what will happen to them if they perish, okay? these Rothschild, elite international bankers, and even the low-level ones as well. That's why they are scrambling, okay? Because through the spirit, man, Esau Edom right now, okay, the so-called red man, he's scrambling to make this technology possible, okay? He's, he's desperate right now. He's trying to rush this as much as possible, and that's why you are seeing these global food shortages. That's why you are seeing, the collapse of this economy right now. Okay, this Western civilization. That's why you are seeing the collapse, because Esau is anxious. He's scrambling. He's trying to get his new world order on. Okay, because he knows that yeah, it's just a short time, man. They are playing with the clock, okay, and the clock is already run out for them, and that's why they're getting desperate right now, okay. But anyway, forgetting all of that, let's focus on what actually going into, this is just like the Garden of Eden once again, where the serpents, entice the woman, and that's what Esau does. Whenever he wants to, bring any wickedness into our community, whenever he wants to bring any wickedness to the Hebrew Israelites, he does it through Eve, okay? So that's what I'm going to let me just go to that. I think that's Genesis, the 3rd chapter. Yeah, it is. Genesis, the 3rd chapter. Genesis 3 verse 1. And it means, they even titled it in this script, in this Bible, the fall of man, okay? And the fall of man came through the woman, okay? So, and that's why the scripture tells you that, how does it go? That a man, goes to his wits end. Let me get that picture. I don't want to be I can't remember how this person goes. The man goes to his wits end for a woman or something like that. Here it is. First Esdras 4. Let me just quickly go to that. First Esdras 4 verse 26. First Esdras 4 verse 26. Yea, many there be that have run out of their wits for women and became servants for their sakes. Okay? That's basically what we're going to go into here. So this is the book of Genesis 3 verse 1. Before I go into that, let me just quickly turn on the Wi-Fi, because I already seen a word that I want to go into, in the Paleo Hebrew. Okay? So let's do that first and foremost. Okay? It's a beautiful day right now, All praises to Yahweh, okay? Whenever you go out here for camp, the sun is always shining. The clouds are always in the sky, covering up the sun, like the chariots are there watching you. Because when, as the scriptures say, he hideth his chariots in the clouds, okay? Or he maketh the clouds he maketh the clouds his chariots. But yeah, let me get this. Genesis 3 verse 1. Now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field which Yahweh had made. And he said unto the woman, Yea, as the Most High said, Ye shall not eat of every tree in the garden. What I'm going to do, I want to get this word, subtle. Okay? Because the scripture say it was more subtle, and the word is Arayam. Arawam. And the word is Arawam. Subtle, shrewd, crafty, sly, sensible. Crafty, shrewd, sensible, prudent. And basically what this is going into. crafty, okay? Because I also want to get the definition of that word subtle. This is the word crafty. Skillful at deceiving others, characterized by craft. Okay? And that's why the scriptures call him a serpent, you know, because he had that snake-like, you know, the snake-like, he had that he was, you know, he had that snake-like, these snake-like characteristics, okay? Because if you've ever seen a snake, you ever pick them up, they're always usually slimy, okay? You know, for some reason, always covered in something, you know. The scales are usually very slimy, okay? You think that they're dry, but they're not really that dry, okay? And that's what this is going into, because this serpent, this wasn't the actual serpent, okay? But it was a man that had these, you know, snake-like characteristics, in that, you know, he was deceitful, he was a liar, as the scripture, and even the scriptures tell you that. Let's go to this precept right here to show that this was speaking about a man. So this is the book of Revelation 12 verse 9. And the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent called the devil and Satan, which deceiveth the whole world. He was cast out into the earth, and his angels were cast out with him. And this is going to the exact same thing. Devil, diabolos, okay, the man. That man is, of course, Esau, Edom, the so-called red man, ruling over the earth today. Okay, so he was cast out from heaven, okay? That means his rulership, his kingdom. That's what this war in heaven is going into. Because as soon as Yahushua comes back, when Esau's Edom's kingdom is over, okay, there's going to have to be a battle for, or Esau talking about, let me defend my kingdom. Because as soon as Yahushua cracks the clouds, this kingdom is over, okay? Because it's going to be a swift destruction, you know? 1 hour for Babylon the Great to be destroyed. 1 second for all of Esau, Edom's army to be destroyed. You know, that tells you that, that tells you that, you know, the salvation might even, it might even take, not less, it might even take probably half a day to finish up, you know. Because the longest part of the deliverance, while Lord Yahushua is coming, will actually be gathering up the elect from the four corners of the earth. Because the destruction is going to be easy, quick like that, you know. For them to say that the destruction of Babylon the Great will actually be 1 hour. Okay, continuing on. Going back to Genesis 3. Now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field which Yahweh power had made. Okay? And of course, beast, and that's something that, you know, really gets people messed up. What you need to understand is that human beings are also animals as well. Okay? So when they talk about beast of the field, when they talk about creeping things upon the earth, guess what? Humans are counted among the beasts of the field. Humans are counted among the creeping things of the earth, terrestrial creatures, and you know, you are also created among, you know, as you are also part of the animal life, because we are animals as well. You know, if you go into the science and the classifications of the animals, you know, the mammalians, the reptiles, so on and so forth. Okay, humans are mammals as well, and so many other animals, you know, come together in that mammalian family. All right, just because, you know, just because the Most High gave, you know, the humans on the earth a little bit more intelligence and dominion than the other animals, doesn't mean that they are excluded from being called a beast or being part of the creeping things upon the earth. Okay, so now continuing on. Genesis 3 verse 1. Now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field which Yahweh power had made. And he said unto the woman, Yea, hath the Most High, Yahweh Bahasham Yahushai, said, Ye shall not eat of every tree of the garden. And the woman said unto the serpent, We may eat of the fruit of the trees of the garden, but wow. I just think of no disturbance. But anyway, Genesis 3 verse 2. And the woman said unto the serpent, We may eat of the fruit of the trees of the garden, but of the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, the Most High, Yahweh Ba'asham Yahushai, hath said, Ye shall not eat of it, neither shall ye touch it, lest ye die. Okay? And this, of course, was once again, it's not actually going into a fruit or a tree, okay, that you are forbidden to eat from, but it's going into a doctrine of philosophy. Going into doctrine of philosophy, because what happened was during the time of Adam, okay, during the time of Adam and Eve, okay, if you go into the scriptures, go into Genesis 1, Genesis 2, it will tell you that the Most High took Adam out of the, how does it go? Let me go to that. And the Most High took Adam out of the ground. In other words, he took him out of the out of the other people that dwelt on the earth, okay, and put him in the Garden of Eden. So let me get that. So this is the book of Genesis 2 verse 7. And Jehovah of power formed man of the dust of the ground and breathed into his nostrils the breath of life, and man became a living soul. Okay, and there were more men on the earth and women on the earth than Adam and Eve. But what this is going into is that this is how the Most High created man, okay, from the dust of the ground and breathed into him, and the man became a living soul, okay. So now continuing on, Genesis 2 verse 8. And Jehovah of power planted a garden eastward in Eden, and there he put the man whom he had formed. Because Eden wasn't just one place on the earth, okay, it wasn't just the Garden of Eden. Eden was the whole earth, okay, because the word Eden, it goes back to the Hebrew word Aidan, which means paradise, okay, because during that time the whole earth was a paradise, okay, newly created, newly formed, and all things in it were good, okay. That's why the Most High, after he created something, he said that, and he saw that what he created was good, okay. But he never said that about the serpent though, because the Most High created that one, and he created it he created the serpent just for evil, okay. The Most High didn't even, the book of Genesis doesn't really go into all the creation that the Most High made, that he created for evil, okay. That's why you never see any place where he says that he looked upon it and it was evil, okay. But anyway, continuing on. Okay, yeah, that's all I wanted to get about that, showing you the origins of man, okay. So the Most High, how about Shimi or Shai, took Adam from his family and from, just like he did to Abraham, and carried him into the Garden of Eden and placed him there, okay. No new thing under the sun. But what I want to go into is this right here, Genesis 3 verse 4. And the serpent said unto the woman, Ye shall not surely die. For the Most High Yahweh Ba'asham Yahushai doth know that in the day ye eat thereof, then your eyes shall be opened, and ye shall be as gods, knowing good and evil. And when the woman saw that the tree was good for food, and that it was pleasant to the eyes, and a tree to be desired to make one wise, she took of the fruit thereof and did eat, and gave also unto her husband with her, and he did eat, okay. And this is once again, it's talking about a tree, but it's actually not talking about a tree, because a tree and its fruits are basically, an understanding, a philosophy, and that philosophy of the doctrine, okay, the dogma, the tenets of that doctrine being the fruits of that, okay. So when Eve saw that this tree had, the doctrine on it, the philosophy of this tree were very, were good, okay, and we're looking as if, how does it go now? She was tempted of by the doctrine, by the philosophy that the serpent was showing her, all that wickedness, okay. Once again, all that wickedness, okay, and she even went as far as to show her husband and teach her husband those same, doctrine and philosophy that the serpent showed her, which is basically what is going on right now in Jake communities, okay, in Israelite communities. The man out of the house, they have these single mothers right now, and these single mothers, when they are all beholding, so completely subservient to Esau, which is that serpent, and then they go and teach their young children, okay, that same philosophy, that same doctrine, okay, and then they grow up and become niggers. That's why you see so much, basically wickedness within, Israelite communities, okay? Because what we have in these communities right now are matriarchies, especially in Babylon the Great. We also have them here, in different parts of the earth as well, okay? Because that's why Esau uses, okay, the woman in order to push his philosophy, to push his wickedness, okay? Because even the scriptures tell you that the woman is the weaker vessel. You don't need to go into that, okay? But that's basically what we're going to get. So let's actually read that story to give you the background concerning the serpent, concerning the temptation that went into all that, okay? That's the same thing that is happening upon the earth right now, because even as you see in the book of Ecclesiastes, as is written in the book of Ecclesiastes, there is no new thing under the sun, okay? There is nothing you can point to and say, see, this is new. It has been from the beginning. Let me go and get it out, It's a good precept what's going into. So let me get it. Okay, now it is 3 pages on the physical Bible. It takes time. Ecclesiastes 1 verse 9. The thing that has been, it is that which shall be. And that which is done is that which shall be done, and there is no new thing under the sun. Is there anything whereof it may be said, see, this is new? It has been already of old time, which was before us, okay? That's basically what we're going into. And this is the same strategy that Esau uses over and over and over again, okay? And that's why he got the man out of the house. That's why he started the feminist movement and targeted it at the Israelite woman, especially the black woman, okay, in order to cause the division in the household and to separate the woman from the man. Now the woman is the weaker person, easier to seduce, easier to deceive, okay? And that's the exact same thing that Esau will be doing with these children, because and brothers always go into this. When that time comes, they always become trouble with this, a lot of dudes out here, a lot of men out here that call themselves Hebrew Israelites will end up falling into temptation because of their wives, when they hear their wives complaining. Oh well, I don't really know what kind of complaints they make in that day, but you get the point, okay? That's how they're going to, basically, they're going to, what's that word? They are going to submit, just surrender and take that CHIP, okay? Even now, you still have men that are still out of this truth because their wives aren't happy with them, No hearing this word. Oh yeah, listen to those Hebrew Israelites. But those Hebrew Israelites hate women. You have to choose, You know how women always do like that. Oh, you have to choose. It's either me or this truth, which isn't actually really a choice, But anyway, continuing on, okay? And that is, what basically I'm going to the point I went to make. But basically, the seat, okay? Let me just go to that. Let me just get this precept, okay? this is the book of Ecclesiasticus 25. I can't find it. So this is the book of Ecclesiasticus 25, and I will start from verse 19. Ecclesiasticus 25 verse 19. All wickedness is but little to the wickedness of a woman, that the portion of a sinner fall upon her. That's right, because when you understand, that the woman is the weaker vessel, the woman is easier to deceive, okay? And that's something that, that's why, with the women's suffrage, okay, that's why Esau started letting these women, have that vote, have that right to vote, okay? So that they can use them to push their wicked agendas and push wicked policies upon the earth. And if you think that, women aren't that easy to deceive, but that women aren't wicked, but that women aren't evil, just look at the current Roe versus Wade conflict, okay, the Roe versus Wade debacle with legalizing abortion in Babylon the Great, and see how many women are out there, talking about let a woman be able to slay her child in the womb, okay? And the thing is that they're not even making excuses about it anymore. They're not even saying that, oh, well, it's just a clump of cells, oh, it's not technically life. What if the woman had this? What if the woman had that? They just want that right to kill that child, okay? They say, if you ask the woman, okay, well, isn't this murder? They're not going to say, well, no, it's not murder. They're not even going to rationalize it. Just say, yes, I want that right. If whether it's murder, whether it's not murder, they just want to be able to have that ability to turn their womb into a graveyard, And that just shows you, man, that a lot of these women, okay, especially in Babylon the Great, and even all over the earth as well, but especially in Babylon the Great, they are really messed up. And it shows you just how much our people need either deliverance or death, okay? Because that's the state of our people right now. And through this woman, the situation concerning our people is just getting worse and worse. Because these are the heads of the household. Every time you see a black woman out there talking about, I want the right to kill my children, they're talking about whatever wickedness they are pushing, 60-year-olds twerking. Those are heads of the household. Those are matriarchs of the household, Those are the women, the women that a lot of our people are getting their cues from, getting their, learning that they are learning from. Because the Israelite man has been removed from the house, okay? Of course, this is God going into Babylon the Great, okay? But you get the point. Let's continue reading. Ecclesiasticus 25 verse 20. As the climbing up a sandy way is to the feet of the aged, so is a wife full of words to a quiet man. Stumble not at the beauty of a woman, and desire her not for pleasure. A woman, if she maintain her husband, is full of anger, impudence, and much reproach. And this is, of course, going into those men that a woman being the breadwinner of the house. And that's why you always see, it's not really going to go too deep into that because you don't really see that much, okay? But of course, it's going into the woman being the breadwinner of the house. And that's why, even according to the law, right, even the scripture tell you that a man will go out, let's get that. And he will bring all that he has to I think it's the wife and children. So this is the book of 1 Ezra 4 verse 22. By this also ye must know that women have dominion over you. Do ye not labor and toil, and give and bring all to the woman? Yea, a man taketh his sword, and goeth his way to rob and to steal, to sail upon seas and upon rivers, and looketh upon a lion, and goeth in the darkness, and when he has stolen, spoiled and robbed, he bringeth it to his love. Okay? And now, instead of taking advantage of that and using it to spoil our people, to destroy our people, okay? This is why the woman is not supposed to be the head or the leader, okay? Because as the man, okay, we are the leaders. We are the ones that are head above the women, okay? And of course, I'm just preaching to the choir here in Nigeria. They already understand that. But Ecclesiasticus 25 verse 23. A wicked woman abateth the courage, maketh an heavy countenance, and a wounded heart. A woman that will not comfort her husband in distress, maketh weak hands and feeble knees. Of the woman comes the beginning of scale. Ecclesiasticus 25 verse 24. Of the woman came the beginning of sin, and through her we all die. Okay, that's the precept right there. That's the main point I wanted to get. Of the woman came the beginning of sin, and through her we all died. And if you want to influence, Jake, you get him through his woman, okay? And in this kingdom, then, of course, you have the wicked men as well, but the wicked woman, okay, is the worst, okay? Our women are the worst they have ever been, especially in this kingdom, okay? But yeah, that's basically going into that. It's so efficient. I don't really have much else to say concerning that, okay? That's basically, I don't really have much to say concerning that. Just basically the guiding of Peter all over again, using the woman, okay, not to get to the man. Another time, that reminds me, that first Ezra, the fourth chapter, actually goes into all that, okay? That first Ezra, the fourth chapter, goes into that. I'm not really going to read it, but it's talking about how the woman basically, just some highlights. And the woman basically has more control, okay, in the relationship sometimes than the man, okay, because you see, let me just get that portion, let me just get only that portion, okay. So this is the book of 1 Ezra 4 verse 27. Many also have perished, have erred, and sinned for women. And now do ye not believe me? Is not the king great in his power? Do not all regions fear to touch him? Yet did I see him, and Apame, the king's concubine, the daughter of the admirable Bartacus, sitting at the right hand of the king, and taking the crown from the king's head, and sitting upon her own head. She also struck the king with her left hand. And yet for all this, the king gaped and gazed upon her with open mouth. If she laughed upon him, he laughed also. But if she took any displeasure at him, the king was fain to flatter, that she might be reconciled to him again. O ye men, how can it be, but women should be strong, seeing they do thus, okay? And the woman's strength is that in her ability to manipulate, that influence that she has over men, because anyway, I'm not going to stop right there because I'm going into territory that I'm not really, experienced in, okay? Because I don't really deal with him and all that, okay? All like that. So just, in that spirit of waiting for the kingdom, through the spirit of Yahweh Bashim or Shai, okay? But anyway, just going to something else, Let's go into something else, but let me get this, okay? Trying to get the exact precepts, Now let me start with this one. Jeremiah 51 verse 7. Babylon has been a golden cup in Yahweh's hand, that made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of our wine, Therefore the nations are mad, okay? Because out of Babylon the Great, which of course is America, and we already confirmed this through prophecy and through understanding, okay? The land that is called spiritual Egypt, the land that is called Sodom and Egypt, where also our Lord was crucified, right? The land that is called, Rome, okay? That is based off Rome, based off ancient Babylon the Great, the city of confusion, basically, okay? Because all of these wickedness that I see being pushed out throughout the earth, okay? All the wickedness, all the things, basically everything going against the laws, the statutes, and the commandments of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua is being pushed heavily by Babylon the Great, okay? The city of confusion. And that's why you are seeing all this wickedness, all this madness being pushed throughout the four corners of the earth, okay? So now, Jeremiah 51 verse 8. Babylon is suddenly falling and destroyed. How for her take balm for her pain. If so be, she may be healed. And now we're coming into that time in which this kingdom, Babylon the Great, which is America, is going to be destroyed, okay? For the wickedness that they are pushing all over the earth. Because as the scriptures say, they have caused all the nations to drink of, let me just quickly go to this word. But they have caused all the nations to drink of their wine, drink of their, in other words, the philosophy, following after their ways, okay? That democracy, that Americanization, making it seem as though they are the good, okay? They are the way to life. They are giving all the nations that same apple and the serpent gave to Eve, okay? Because they'll tell you that, oh well, if you follow the ways of our, the ways of the West, the ways of America and the first world, you can advance your own nation. You can build up yourself and become greater, become more prosperous. But what you don't understand is those ways they are following are the ways of death, okay? Let me just quickly get this word mad. And the word here is actually halal. Halal. And the word is halal. To shine of God's favor, to flash forth light, to praise, boast, be boastful, to be boastful ones, boasters, to praise, to boast, make a boast, to boast, to glory, make one's boast, to make a fool of, make into a fool, to act madly like a madman. And basically that's what it's going into. So it's not that all the nations are angry, but all the nations are basically become insane, okay? They are seeing madness, okay? Psychosis, craziness happening all over the earth today. If they told you that, even if they told you a month ago that people will be out here on the streets protesting the right to kill their children, okay? To kill an unborn child in the womb legally, and it won't be called murder. You see, that's the most insane thing I've ever heard of. The things that are going on the earth right now, at least that, if they told you about them just a day before it happened, you would say that's insane, that can never happen, that's impossible. But you see it happening on the earth right now. Okay, the wickedness is being pushed forth on a daily basis in Babylon because it has enraged the Most High, man, to the point where, now you see the prophets out here on the highways and byways, even a little wickedness, even a little wickedness, and let me get that out, because that's even same thing going into the woman. That all wickedness is little to the wickedness of a, okay, I already brought out that precept. That all wickedness is little but to the wickedness of a woman. Let the measure of the sinner fall upon her. But you see, I see that even the most minute thing right now, and it's, we still have to bring it out. Because that's basically what is going, that's basically how this kingdom is. Where wickedness is in such a heavy degree, such a high degree that you have to bring out all of that wickedness and condemn this kingdom, okay? And that's why I did that video about that, nigger woman talking about, oh well, she slept with a dog. There's no big deal about that, okay? Because that's the kind of wickedness that has been normalized here in Babylon the Great, where people will say, I can eat, whatever I want, including human flesh. No, don't do nothing about it. Even with animals, okay? And that's all okay according to Esau's kingdom. But that's the serpent truth right there. That's what we're talking about. It's not just the MOTV, but all the other things that go along with it. That's why the scriptures say, that even the ones that worship the beast will also be thrown into the lake of fire, okay? Because not everybody is going to take that charagma, that CHIP, okay? And not everywhere. It's not going to be a situation where everybody that takes that CHIP is going to be of the elect, because you'll have some heathen, even some Edomites, that refuse to take the CHIP. Okay, if you refuse to take the charagma, because you think the elites of Esau, those international type bankers, Rothschild and Rockefeller, you think they're going to take the charagma? Anyway, let me read this. I think that's Revelation 16. So this is the book of Revelation 14 verse 9. And the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast and his image, and receive his mark in his hand or in his forehead, like that, and receive his mark in his forehead or his hand, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of the Most High, Yahweh Bahasham Yahushai, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation. And he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb. And the smoke of their torment ascended up forever and ever, and they have no rest day nor night, who worship the beast and his image, and whosoever receiveth the mark of his name. Now this doesn't mean they are going into hell, because you say that, oh well, the lake of fire represents hell, and all the people that take the charagma or worship the beast is going to go into hell. That's not what this means. What this means is that the destruction will become a monument, an eternal, remembered and for all eternity by the destruction of Babylon the Great. Okay, because the Most High said that he will destroy Babylon the Great and it will become a desert. Okay, filled with wild beasts and every hateful bird. Okay, that's how I believe that's how the beast is going. I think it was hateful and unclean bird. Yeah. So this is the book of Revelation 18 verse 1. And after these things I saw another angel come down from heaven, having great power, and the earth was lightened with his glory. And he cried, and this angel of course is actually going into the prophets, the men of the Lord, because the one doing that crying right now. Okay, that's why the scripture said that the earth was lightened with their glory. Okay, because right now through the Spirit, the earth has been lightened with the glory of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai by the word of his prophets, the men of the Lord. Revelation 18 verse 2. And he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the great is falling, and is become the habitation of devils, and the hold of every foul spirit, and a cage of every unclean and hateful bird. Okay? The destruction will remain as a monument, a testimony forever. Because Sodom and Gomorrah is going to burn, or is burning till today as we speak. Okay? Because it's completely destroyed. You know? The ashes of that city is still in the earth. You know? That's why when people get burned, you see them, they're always talking that they are mangled forth with their mouths wide open. Okay? You can go to the evidence of Pompeii. Okay? That ancient city, Pompeii, it's burned for all eternity. Because you go into that ancient city, man, you can still see some of the people that were born in that Pompeii. They are still in the same spots, in the same position they were in when they were burned alive. Okay? You know, when and remember the volcano Vesuvius that erupted and took out that whole city, you can still see them being that, you can still see the bodies in their houses in that same position where they were, okay, when they were destroyed. Okay, that's what that is going into when you talk about an eternal destruction. Okay, meaning that that city for all eternity, Babylon the Great will never be rebuilt again. So it's destroyed for all eternity. Sodom and Gomorrah will never be rebuilt again. So it's destroyed and it's burned for all eternity. The same with Jericho, okay? All these cities have been caused by the Most High, and they will never be built up again. I'd like to see one of you Edomites or one of you atheists try to build up Sodom and Gomorrah again. You want to prove the Most High doesn't exist. You want to prove that these scriptures aren't true. Go and try and build up Sodom and Gomorrah again. Go and try and build up the city of Jericho over again. Let me tell you what will happen to those that try to build up the city of Jericho. You will lay the foundations with the death of your first son, and then finish the gates with the death of your lastborn. That is exactly what it says in the scriptures, okay? Anyway, continuing on. I think I've got enough of that. Going into the judgment of the great four, basically. Okay. Because of all the wickedness that is pushed forth, deceive the whole earth. And the scriptures keep on telling you the same thing, and the scriptures keep on telling you the same thing. Deceive the whole earth. Okay, because this is just me speaking as a man. But this CHIP technology will never be ready, man, Esau Edom will release it prematurely. And when he releases it, you're going to be seeing the same thing that happened with the CV19. People that take the CHIP, that take the character, are just going to be dropping dead or having all kinds of side effects and diseases constantly, okay? The same thing with the jab, okay? With the jab. That's the thing that happened with the charagma. And that's why the scripture says that there's going to be a noisome and grievous sword developing, because this technology actually hasn't been cleared for long-term use, okay? They have people that take the CHIP, but you don't know the long-term effect of it. The same thing with that jab, man. People don't know the long-term effect of these things, and they are putting it into their bodies, okay? A lot of these different, I have people that will say that, oh, well, I got 5 different charagmas up in me, but you don't know what's going to happen to you at the end of the day. It's the same thing with that man that had a pig's heart transplanted into him. A few months later, he just died. Out of nowhere, I don't even know what killed him, just out of nowhere, he just dropped dead, okay? And that's the exact same thing, man. When you put strange flesh in you, you put, all this wicked technology in you. Because cyborgs, okay, they don't work, If you want to say you call yourself beating immortality, you call yourself beating death, the scriptures already tell you exactly how to beat death. And I read that last week, 1 Corinthians 15, from verse 50 on down, okay? Through our Lord Yahushua, we have gotten the victory over death, okay? And only the elect, only the Israelites, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians have that ability to conquer death, okay? That's why they are out here right now on the highways and byways. I'm trying to sell life, for the people out there, but nobody wants to buy, okay? And let me get that, because even the scripture tell you that, and the kingdom of heaven is likened unto children are played together. Children are let me bring it out. Matthew 11 verse 16. But whereunto shall I liken this generation? It is like unto children sitting in the market and calling unto their fellows and saying, we have piped unto you, but ye have not danced. We have mourned unto you, and ye have not lamented. For John came neither eating nor drinking, and they say he hath a devil. So this is going to John the Baptist, okay? Because of the way that he came, and you see a prophet in this time come in that same way. Basically, he was dressed in animal skin. His food was locusts and wild honey. You know how it was, man, as soon as John became a man, he left his father's house, because here's the thing about John the Baptist. His father was his father was a priest, and his mother was of the sons of Aaron, okay? And during the time of our people in the Holy Land, even though we were conquered by the Romans, the high priests were eating good, okay? The priests were eating good, especially if you were not even a Levite, but a son of Aaron. I know that those priests were actually sons of, I know that John the Baptist came from the line of Zadok, okay? Which is basically a major high priest back during when we came back from the prison captivity. Okay, the most I said that, I believe that was in the book of Ezekiel, that the children of Zadok could be the only ones that would be allowed to, serve in his altar. So even so the same way that Joseph was, well off because he was a carpenter. Our Lord Yahushua was actually rich. Okay, the same thing with John the Baptist. John the Baptist was also rich as well because both Elizabeth and both his father Zacharias, they came from wealthy families. Okay, but John the Baptist, as soon as he became a man, he left all that. He left father, he left mother, he left land, he left riches. He even left his office as the high priest. And this is showing right here for Alexander. I want to say that for the high priest or the office of a priest, he wasn't a high priest, he was a priest. And the office of a priest is the highest office, and the office of the high priest is the highest office. John the Baptist left the priestly office to go out and prophesy concerning our Lord Yahushua. And in the scriptures, he was actually out there on the highways and byways, the same way that I am right now, doing this work. Because you go to the book of John, he was telling you that day by day, day after day, he was out there prophesying. And even some of the disciples heard John the Baptist prophesy, man. Okay? And John the Baptist had his own disciples as well. But the disciples didn't follow John the Baptist, they followed Yahushua. Okay? Because that was their office, that was their lot, to follow Yahushua. Okay? Anyway, let's just continue on. And that's what this is going into. So John the Baptist didn't come like a rich man, like all these pastors out here. Sometimes they'll come out here with native and sit outside with a microphone talking about praise the Lord, not bringing out any scriptures. We just wanted to pray and cast and bind all the devils that is destroying your life, okay? But the only devil is destroying your life, and it's you, okay? Because you people out here, you don't realize that how many demons you got on you. To the point where you yourselves, you are demons as well, okay? Because you do not follow the laws, the statutes, and the commandments of Yahweh Yahushua. And except you repent, as the scriptures say, ye shall likewise perish, okay? So continuing on. Yeah. So now Matthew 11 verse 19. The Son of Man came eating and drinking, and they say, behold, a man gluttonous, and a wine bibber, a friend of publicans and sinners, but wisdom is justified of our children. That's the thing, man. That shows you that these Pharisees, okay, they weren't on any level. Anyway, back to what I was saying. That shows you that these Pharisees, they weren't on any level of understanding. Because if they understood, man, they would understand that, when they are with Yahushua, what's the point of fasting? What's the point of, acting all the destitute and sad and stuff? That's the bridegroom right there. And it's going to be the same way in the kingdom. You think we're going to be fasting in the kingdom, talking about, let's fast and, okay, we're going to fast on the day of atonement, of course, because it's a high holy day, okay? We're still going to fast on the day of atonement, but we're not really atoning for anything, but just a practice, a tradition for our people for all generations that the scriptures say. But you think we're going to be fasting, we're going to be doing all this water fast, 1 day fast, 2 day fast, okay? When we're in the kingdom, we're going to be eating and drinking and in the spirit when we're in the kingdom, because and even Yahushua said that when they asked him, because that the disciples of John the Baptist fasted, fasted. What? Let me get that. Why don't his own disciples fast? Let me just get this so I can justify it. Let me just use this. Let me just use this to get understanding. So this is the book of Matthew 9, verse 14. Then came to him, him being Yahushua, the disciples of John, saying, why do we and the Pharisees fast oft, but thy disciples fast not? And Yahushua said unto them, can the children of the bride chamber mourn as long as the bridegroom is with them? But the days will come when the bridegroom shall be taken from them, and then shall they fast. Okay? That's the thing right there, Now that Yahushua was there, the disciples were eating, they were drinking, okay? Not doing it to excess like most people do in this kingdom. Just doing it, a normal amount, maybe just sometimes, once a month or sometimes a few times a month, you just go out, to another brother's house, just drink and eat, that kind of thing, okay? like put out after camp, you just eat and drink and you just basically fellowship, okay? And you know the thing is that I thought they were shy. He probably wasn't even getting on the, eating or drinking like that, or getting drunk or anything like that. Just taking the wine in moderation, okay? Like we are supposed to as Israelites. But because the Pharisees are looking for occasion against him. Oh well, you drink this wine a lot, Oh well, that kind of thing. The wine be and a glutton. Because they saw him eating, some, from time to time, okay? Because they heard that he fed the 5,000, they say, oh well, he's a glutton, he's a wine bibber now, okay? Because that's what these people out there, okay, the Pharisees back then, they were always seeking occasion to speak against our Lord Jehoshua, okay? So anything that he did, they made it think 10 times worse. He was sipping a little yarn, just regular thing, okay? Even though the scriptures tell you that if you take wine for your stomach's sake, for your health, okay? They also say that, oh well, he's a wine bibber for that, okay? Just taking a small sip of the wine. Because that's how these people out there in the world act. They want you to be just their vision of holiness and perfection, When they have a vision for what they want they always have their own vision, but they refuse to follow the vision of Yahweh or Shai, okay? And this is how the truth comes to you. This is how life, this is how prosperity comes to you. Through repentance, through the following of the law, okay? Anyway, continuing on. I want to read something here. Yeah, let me just go with something else, And this every day you're hearing more news about food crisis. Oh well, there's a food shortage here, there's a shortage of formula here, shortage of fertilizer here. Bird flu killed 1,000 chickens here, okay? And basically what you are seeing is the collapse of Western society. Okay, because the first world is slowly becoming the third world right now. And you're hearing about soon there's going to be a food crisis, okay? And people are going to be out here in the streets hungry. Not just food crisis, but blackouts to the point where, some cities in the West are going to have to be sharing lights. That's the kind of shit that you hear in the third world, where they say that, oh, they're going to take lights, they're going to cut off electricity. So they're going to have to be without, electricity for a while, okay? But they're going to fix it and put it back a little bit later. Those are the blackouts. These are the kind of things you hear in the third world. In Nigeria, they will take lights, they will bring it back. I think there's not even any lights right now, And that's coming to the end. That's coming upon the end to show you that this kingdom is truly, at the end of its time, at the end of its reign, at the end of the appointed time that it was set up by, that it was set up to rule by Yahweh Hashem Shai, okay? So all of the end is about to experience and to feel this fire, and it's going to be brought forth by Yahweh Hashem Shai. And I want to get the precepts. So this is the book of 2 Esdras 13 verse 4. And whensoever the voice went out of his mouth, all they that burned heard his voice, like as the earth faileth when it filleth the fire. Okay? And this is of course going into our Lord Jehoshua. That war in heaven, man, that war in heaven is going to be a 1 second battle, okay? Where Jehoshua shows up and all the spaceships, okay, all the aircraft, all the satellites, all the missile guidance systems that they will fire at Jehoshua, talking about, let's face this man, okay? Everything will be destroyed just by a single beam from the chariots, okay? You're just going to take one beam to take out all of Esau's infrastructure, okay? The entirety of the space force that he set up to fight against Jehoshua, okay? And this is also reminiscent of the time that we're coming into, Jacob's trouble, okay? Which the whole world is going to feel that, they feel the full force of our Lord Yahweh during the time of Jacob's trouble, okay? Because the earth is coming, we are coming into those perilous times, as Peter says, in the last days, That's going into something else. That's going into something else. But yeah, in the last days, you are coming to, perilous times, okay? And that's why you are seeing all these different situations breaking out on the earth, The next thing that's coming up is when the electric grid falls, you lose that. And the thing is that, a lot of things in Babylon, the grid is being powered by electricity. So when the electric grid fails, you lose your water. You can't, you lose running water, okay? You lose gas, so you can't cook or you can't make anything, You lose a lot of things from that power failure, okay? And that's why you're hearing all these doomsday type papers, they're trying to come out more and more. They're coming out after the good works now. Thinking about you have to be prepared, There's only one way to be prepared in this truth, man, because there's no problem with being prepared. But if you're not preparing through the spirit and power of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, with faith in Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, okay, all that preparation will come to naught, okay? Because all you are doing is you are prolonging yourself for the slaughter, for the destruction, especially if you are in Babylon the Great. Because what's the point of surviving all that, and then a bear meets you, Let me get that. That's the book of Amos. Amos 5, and I'll start from verse 18. Amos 5, verse 18. Woe unto you that desire the day of Yahweh. To what end is it for you? The day of Yahweh is darkness and not light. And that's right. Woe to you that desire the day of Yahweh and your child. To what end is it for you? Okay? What do you desire that day for? Because we desire the day of Yahweh and your child. And we understand that yes, that day is darkness. But that's the only way we are going to be saved, We understand that we are going to be in darkness in that day, okay, because of Jacob's trouble. But the light of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai is bright enough to see us through. And through the spirit and power of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, I pray that I have the spirit to endure to the end, Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, Natan Laya, Racha, Racha, Layakal, Lakotaza, Tawara, Aman. That's basically the most high Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. Give me the spirit to endure until the end, okay? Because it still has to be praying for that, it still has to be praying and fasting and hoping to the most high that this end shall come, okay? I'm still out here fasting for the end. And let me tell you that straight up, man. Fasting for the spirit to endure that, to endure the times that are coming, okay? Because the way that we can get out of here is by getting out through Jacob's trouble, okay? Because we're not going to be saved, we're not going to be delivered before Jacob's trouble. We're going to have to, the moment that we're going to have to put our feet in that fire a little bit. We're going to have to taste of that fire, but just like the three holy children, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, the Most High Yahweh Hashem Yahushai will be with us in that fire. And I think that's the precept right there. Okay, I can't find out precept, but basically, and the Most High will be with us even when we're experiencing Jacob's trouble, okay? So now Amos 5, verse 19. Amos 5, verse 19. As if a man did flee from a lion, and a bear met him, or went into the house and leaned his hand on the wall, and a serpent bit him. Shall not the day of Yahweh be darkness and not light, even very dark and no brightness in it? Okay? And that is how it will be for all you heathens out there. Because let's not forget that the Most High will also bring the plagues of Egypt on Babylon the Great. And one of the plagues in Egypt was that plague of darkness. And if you go into more detail about what was happening during that plague of darkness, you know, the apparitions, the voices, the things that they were seeing, okay? You know, I believe there's a disease called schizophrenia, where you start hearing voices, even to the point you start seeing hallucinations. That's what's going to happen to you people out there in that day, man. When you see that darkness, when you're going to be in that state of, you know, schizophrenia, okay? When you think there's something out there to get you, you start seeing all kinds of things. Like, for example, remember it's dark, if you should know about this, when it's dark, you know, and you just look at something in your room, and it kind of looks like an apparition, okay? You look at it, you think that, oh, it's a man or some kind of creature. You look back, just a chair with your clothes on it, okay? That's how it will be in those days, man, because dark times are coming. Actual dark times are coming where, you know, as the scriptures say, the sun shall be covered and the moon shall not give her light, okay? Not only will there be complete darkness all over the earth, okay, but there will also be darkness in the form of no information concerning what's going on. You know, you go to your news media, or you can't go to your news media because the EMPs, okay, from the nuclear blast will render all machines, all your technology completely useless. And I wonder if that charagma is EMP proof. You know, I wonder if that's a Neuralink EMP proof, and what happens when those EMPs make contact, okay? When an EMP makes contact with the charagma, I wonder what happens, okay? And in those days, man, you know, if you're not of the elect, you're not going to be delivered, okay? That's the whole point right here. That only the elect will be saved. Let me That's him that endureth to the end, the same shall be saved. I think it's a mine. Okay, so let me start with this. Isaiah 45 verse 4. For Jacob my servant's sake, and Israel mine elect, I have even called thee by thy name. I have surnamed thee, though thou hast not known me. So once again, showing you evidence, proof, whatever word you want to use, to allow you to make you to know that the Most High is only dealing with the Israelites, that is so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians, okay? The elect that have been scattered. The elect that have been scattered throughout the four corners of the earth. That is who that the Most High is exclusively dealing with, okay? I think it's about time to close out, but let me just finish up. I still want to hit some more points before we close out, you know. I'm still out here, okay? Call her, how about me on shine? Let me get one more precept. So this is the book of Isaiah 65 verse 9. And I will bring forth a seed out of Jacob and out of Judah, an inheritor of my mountains, and my elect shall inherit it, and my servant shall dwell there. And that seed, of course, is speaking of our Lord Yahushua, which of course he was brought forth 2,000 years ago. And you know, those 2,000 years ago, he already inherited the kingdom. By defeating death, he received dominion from the Most High, Yahushua. And now we're waiting for him to return to exercise his dominion, okay? And to also, through his grace, alright, you know, give that inheritance, give that his dominion to the elect and to the Israelites as well. That's the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians, you know. And before I came out here this morning, you know, the apostle was going into how in the kingdom our people will have spiritual power, okay? Which is also going into those superpowers that you see in these movies, or those powers that you see all these witches and wizards using. But our people will be able to use them in righteousness as well, okay? Whether it's the power to heal, okay, or the power to, you know, raise crops up, or the power to basically any power that you can imagine, man. Our people have that ability, read minds, okay, see spirits, revive people from the dead. Because we'll be doing that in the kingdom as well, you know. Especially for you Rothschilds, man. If you Rothschilds stay there, you know, you Rothschilds and you Rockefellers. You know, I don't want to mention any names, but you know the chief patriarch of the Rothschild house, okay, that's currently still alive. The Most High isn't going to let you die that easy, man. Because in the kingdom, even we are not going to let you die that easy, man. You might actually help. These Edomites, okay, these high elite Edomites, they might actually get their immortality, okay. And I think I'm going to clip this video, call it camp highlights. These Edomites might actually get their immortality because these Rockefeller, Rothschild types, they might actually get their immortality, okay. Because in the kingdom, you know, for those 1,000 years in which these Edomites will be in the kingdom before till they are destroyed, I don't believe, okay, I'm just speaking as a man, but I don't believe we'll actually allow, you know, these high level, some of the top Jewish banking family elites to die, okay? They're going to be working every single day, okay, for those 1,000 years, up until they are gathered up and destroyed. So they might actually have their immortality, okay? Because if they die, we'll bring them back to life. If they have any sickness or any disease or any injury, we are going to heal them to make sure that they continue in that perpetual slavery, okay? And even in scripture tell you about that, we shall employ servants of, servants of perpetual employment or something like that. So basically, going into an eternal servitude, okay? So you don't mind, they are going to be joyful when that time comes. They are going to be gathered up and destroyed by a house of your child. Because we know that the Most High will actually destroy the house of Edom because he has spoken it. And that's Isaiah 55 verse 1, right? 55 verse 11 right there. So shall my word be that goeth forth out of the mouth of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, the mouth being the servants, the prophets. And it shall not return unto him, Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, void. So basically, what that is going into is that what we're saying, what we're prophesying, okay? Because prophecy is also a part of prayer. So as we're out here on the highways and byways, prophesying with faith. Because make no mistake, everything that I said right now in this camp, I believe it 144%, okay? So everything that I think I also made a sign right there, you know, through this, you know, one of the devil's signs, there's nothing about that, but everything that I say, we believe it 100%, okay? And that's going up to the ears of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. And he's not going to, you know, as the scriptures say, the Most High is not so cruel as to reject or deny our labor of love. So he's not going to fall on deaf ears. The Most High is listening and making sure it comes to pass, you know. Because the brother might just say some random thing here about what he's going to do in the kingdom. And the Most High will be like, bet, you know. It is fulfilled, it is done. You can have that, you can do that, okay? So brother might say some things right now through the Spirit, just speaking as a man. And the Most High is already working on fulfilling that for them, okay? Because that's how it works, okay? When you prophesy, you know, sometimes the brother just say some things at random. And the Most High turns out to look prophecy, okay? And makes it to come to pass. It has happened on so many different occasions. Right, but anyway, you know, I think I'm going to end it right here. So with that, all praises, all honors, all glory unto Yahweh, Ba'asham Yahushai, Ba'asham, Ba'chakodash, Wa'abad Babal, Shalom. So what are Yahweh Ba'asham Yahushai?